Today on Monkey Life, the team have their work cut out for the biggest house swap in the park's history.
Come on then, you boys! Let's go!
With the Bachelor boys moving to Bart's and Bart's moving to the Bachelors.
The boys being able to see Bart's group in here, they now know that they're in their space. So it might be quite noisy from here on in.
And Capuchin Erico tries to lick the Big Ice Lolly Challenge with brute force. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
Everybody's well aware that they need to be looked after carefully. They should be okay.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 24 different species. It's a huge day for the chimp team. After weeks of meticulous planning, two of the park's chimpanzee groups are about to swap homes and enclosures. The Bachelor boys are moving to Bart's, and Bart's troop are doing the move in reverse. In all, 30 chimpanzees will be relocated.
16 in Bart's group, 14 in the boys' group. So we want it to run as smoothly as possibly and as safely as possibly. But obviously we have to make sure we're all communicating really well so that no one opens any slides that they're not supposed to and we don't end up with two groups of chimps together that they're not supposed to be. So it sounds quite simple, but we do have to be really on the ball and make sure everyone's aware of what's going on and aware of who's where. So once we have moved groups, we will go through checklists to make sure that everyone is absolutely where they're supposed to be. So, yeah. Should be a fun day.
The house swap is an attempt to bring some order and stability to the Bachelor group after months of tension and squabbles. The Pavilions, which houses both groups separately, has undergone a massive refurbishment to accommodate the move, linking the two areas so the animals don't have to be boxed up for it to happen. The team hope the extra space in Bart's bedrooms, coupled with a change of scene in a different outside enclosure, will have a long-term calming effect on the Bachelors. Although there's bound to be some initial excitement.
Something new, they'll be a bit scared as well, so they'll either all rush through into the new bit or we might get some hanging back because they're a bit worried, so we'll just have to see.
To minimise stress, the move will be staggered and the two groups won't come into contact or see much of each other. The operation is a logistical challenge with the care staff needing to ensure everything is in the right place at the right time for the plan to come together. Thankfully, the redesign of the pavilions makes the task that much easier. Interconnecting tunnels between the two enclosures and the main house have been built to enable the team to move the groups as a whole. This means none of the chimps will need to be anaesthetised and stress can be kept to an absolute minimum. Step one for Hannah and the team is to let the Bachelor boys out into their original enclosure. All 14 need to be outside and secure, so their carers can clean and prepare the space for the arrival of Bart's group. They're currently waiting indoors, probably wondering what on earth's going on.
Fingers crossed they'll all just move straight away and we won't have to wait hours for someone who's hanging back.
Thing is, if it takes hours, it takes hours.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got hours.
Exactly.
You know, it's the whole... And I'd rather that than it turn into World War III.
Yeah.
The Bachelor boys are outside enjoying breakfast, but they do appear interested in what's happening. Bart and his troop are waiting inside, with the team doing their best to keep the morning routine as normal as possible. Sean is about to give them their morning vitamins and medication. The maintenance team have been called in to assist with the practicalities of the move. Some of the slides and doors separating the groups have been welded shut as a safety precaution. Now they need to be freed up for the plan to be successfully executed.
Right.
As the morning unfolds, the team constantly check and double-check to make sure everyone involved knows what's going on.
You're definitely happy with everything?
Do you want to do one final check just to be absolutely sure? I'm happy, but yeah, let's just make sure everyone's happy.
The next piece of the jigsaw is ready to be put in place, moving Bart's group into what was the Bachelor's bedrooms and playroom.
Hiya, we're going to be ready to start moving Bart's in about 10 minutes.
As an added incentive, frozen mangoes, one of the chimp's favourite fruits, are being scattered around. They're a good food option for Bart, who has type 1 diabetes. They'll help keep his blood glucose levels up, which can drop in stressful situations.
We've set everything up and I've been round and done a final check to make sure that everything that's locked should be locked is locked and everything that should be open is open. So we're all set up. What's going on? Hey? Exciting.
Time to let Bart's troop into their new home.
Right. Ready?
Ready.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Hannah keeps a running total as each chimp heads through the tunnel. Bart's sister Eddie isn't sure she wants to go any further.
Come on, Eddie! Come on, beautiful!
But with encouragement from the primate care team and Bart, who comes back to find her,
Good boy, Bart. Come on, Ed. Good girl. Super.
she heads in.
Good girl. Right, so let's do a checklist and make sure everyone's definitely through.
The first major part of the move has gone like clockwork. Next, it'll be the Bachelor's turn to venture into somewhere new, Bart's former outdoor enclosure. The team are hoping that part of the operation runs just as smoothly. It's one of the hottest days of the year, and the care team are keen to get the park's pair of cotton-top tamarins, Mo and Uncas, outside to enjoy the sunshine. Charlie has prepared some tasty treats for them.
In the wild, the primates, like the tamarins, will spend most of the day foraging, so it keeps them really active and busy most of the day. In captivity, we try and emulate this by making it quite difficult for them to find their own food.
Today's menu is a summer special.
We've put them out an ice lolly. It's got some squash in and some fruit as well frozen in there just to keep them a little bit cooler.
Charlie is also spreading a broom head with one of their favourite foods, fat, juicy waxworms. They're rapidly disappearing into the bristles, so Mo and Uncas will have to be quick and clever to find them. Once everything is in place, the tunnel connecting the house to the outdoor enclosure is opened.
Ready, you two? Come on then.
Uncas is first out,
Come on, Mo.
followed shortly after by partner Mo. Uncas finds the broom head, but the mealworms are hidden by the bristles and he gives up. He was rescued from the pet trade as an adult, so his age is uncertain, but he's definitely an old man now.
We've noticed that he's got a bit of a smaller appetite. He likes to eat kind of little bits and often rather than big meals, really. So we feed him throughout the day just to make sure that he's getting enough nutrition.
He usually has to wait for his greedy younger partner Mo to have her fill. Uncas dotes on her, and they're incredibly close. Active and agile Mo is quicker to find the treats and shows Uncas how it's done.
She came from a zoo, so I think she's quite used to having enrichment, so she figures things out quite quickly. Uncas, he has got a lot better with enrichment since he's been mixed with Mo.
Mo has no trouble picking out the tasty grubs from the broom head. Cotton tops, named for the mop of white hair on their heads, are critically endangered in the wild. But concerted conservation efforts have pushed their number up from 1,000 to 6,000 individuals. Now he knows how it's done, Uncas comes back for another go at the broomhead. Success! And despite his lack of teeth, he has no trouble tackling the mealworms. Time to try the lolly next.
It's quite good to also put novel enrichment items that they don't get very often in with them. We gave them quite a large, brightly coloured lollipop this morning. It kind of just encouraged them to kind of overcome that kind of initial fear about it.
Uncas examines the icy treat, but it's melting fast in the heat and he's unsure. Bouncy Mo doesn't help. The lolly has confounded the cotton tops, but it won't go to waste. The sticky sweetness will attract more insects into their enclosure. After all that exertion in the sunshine, time for a well-earned rest in the shade. The big chimp house swap is underway, and so far things are progressing according to plan. Bart's group have moved from their former bedrooms into their new indoor home, which was previously the Bachelor's. The Bachelor boys are still in their original outside enclosure, waiting to be transferred next door to Bart's. It's a complicated manoeuvre, but the primate care team have it all worked out.
So we're just going to put lots of nice stuff outside, get them to move outside, and then we need to clean the inside. But as soon as we move them out over, then we can let Bart's outside over there. So, yeah.
The team get busy prepping Bart's empty enclosure, ready for the Bachelors. They're scattering a variety of different tempting foods and double-checking everything. No one wants any last-minute hiccups. While that's going on outside, inside Bart's group are exploring their new home, including some of the tunnels leading out to their new enclosure.
Right, boys.
The intruders have been spotted by some of the Bachelors, and they're not impressed.
All right, guys. Lots of things to nosy out, isn't there? This is the first, like, the boys being able to see Bart's group in here, they now know that they're in their space. So, it might be quite noisy from here on in.
Best to move on to the next stage as quickly as possible. With everything set, Sean requests confirmation he can open the slide.
Yep, okay.
To let the boys into the tunnel connecting the two enclosures. Hannah performs a head count.
13, 14, super.
No one holds back. The excited chimps move through the tunnel into the open space, hooting, hollering, climbing, and exploring. There's plenty to see, with new climbing frames and hoses to try out. There's even a water feature, which may be a first for some. There's plenty of food to go round too, which will help keep them occupied. Hannah is delighted with how it's gone so far.
That's as good as it could go. They're obviously like fear grinning and like, ah, but you know, they all went together, so brilliant, really good.
The Bachelor chimps have a lot to discover in their new outdoor play area. Only Jimmy and Paco have lived here before, when they were part of Paddy's group. Time will tell if the move to a new home with extra space will prove a permanent distraction for the Bachelors, or a temporary diversion. But this morning's reaction is a positive sign for the primate care team, who are now on the last leg of the big chimp change-around challenge. It's breakfast time for Erico's capuchin group, and the 11-strong troop waiting in the caged area are getting impatient. Care team member Lydia is following the hot weather breakfast theme. She's in the enclosure putting out chunks of juicy mango she's frozen into ice lolly blocks. But these top the tamarin snack. They're treble the size.
We thought we'd make it a bit more exciting for them this morning, and I'll be trying to, break into it and get it over the next few hours, hopefully.
She's distributed the capuchin-sized lollies all over the enclosure, and there's plenty to go round. First in, and first to check them out, is group leader Erico. Female Phoenix comes next, followed by Sean, Erico's second-in-command.
Erico can be a bit of a loose cannon sometimes. He's quite an excitable chap, but generally he is quite good. But a lot of the individuals in here, being wild-caught older individuals, they seem to kind of do their own thing and kind of stay out of his way as he kind of comes barreling around. But on the most part, he's a pretty good dominant male.
Sean finds his own block and keeps it to himself. He doesn't waste any time trying to get through to the fruit. Low rankers, like Ringo, can only watch on until the high rankers have had their fill. The group recently lost dominant female Cara. Her place has been taken by Phoenix. Being new to the role, she's still cautious around the big boys. But Erico doesn't seem to mind her presence.
Phoenix used to be quite quiet, becoming that new dominant female. We're noticing she seems to be more, prominent when we're out feeding. She kind of pops up a lot more rather than hanging back. So it's been quite nice to watch her blossom to more confident capuchin.
But not enough to tackle an icy breakfast by herself, it seems.
By putting it in the ice lolly means it does take them a lot longer to get the food, so it means they're foraging a bit more and taking a bit longer to break things up to get the food. Capuchins are very smart monkeys. They do a lot of tool use behaviours. So the ice lollies today, hopefully we'll see some just either picking up and bashing them or finding an object like a bit of wood or maybe a little rock that they'll be able to bash it with to try and chip away at it. Sometimes they might sink their teeth in to try and get into those bits that might be closer to the surface than the ice lolly, but you hopefully will see them trying to work out the best way and the best technique to get in and get the fruit out as fast as possible.
Patience not being Erico's forte, he's come up with his own technique. Brute force. Phoenix's friend Zoe has had a better result, digging in with her long fingers to extract a piece of fruit. With the high rankers losing interest and foraging elsewhere, the lower ranks move in. Marlowe is joined by best friend Abby. Wild-caught Ringo tucks in, while pet trade victim Caesar waits patiently. He won't touch the fruit until Ringo is finished. With dominant males Erico and Sean elsewhere, Phoenix and Zoe wonder if there's a way to lick this lolly challenge. But Phoenix isn't impressed. While some aren't prepared to give up yet, others opt to wait it out and let the sun do the work for them. It's the last leg of a long and complicated day for the primate care team. They've helped 30 chimpanzees, 16 in Bart's group and 14 in the Bachelor's, move home. So far, it's been a safe, secure and stress-free operation for the chimps and the staff. It's taken some careful planning and the end is in sight.
We've created lots of work for ourselves, but it's all part of the fun of the job. So, and it's lovely actually seeing these guys having so much interest in the new surroundings. They've all been having a lovely mooch around, and there's been a lot of play we've seen with the boys since they've moved over here. So, so far so good.
Now it's time for Bart's group to be let outside into what was the Bachelor's enclosure. After all, the former residents are already settling into their new space.
It's actually way exceeded my expectations for today. I thought we'd move them and they'd be nervous and just quite frantically pacing back and forth all day while they explore the new space. But actually, they settled really, really quickly and they all just seem to be so happy, the happiest I've really known the boys be in a while now. These guys, actually, I think they've wanted in here for a while, to be honest. Some of the ones that used to live in this closure, like Paco and Jimmy, I think they look over at this space quite a lot and they do kind of know the area as well, so I think they've been very keen to get back over here. But the rest of the group are just having a wonderful day.
The team are hoping for the same result with Bart's troop as they're finally released into their new outdoor enclosure. It doesn't take long for them to take in the sights. A large patch of natural foliage with brambles and flowering gorse is something they didn't have in their old enclosure, and it's a great foraging opportunity.
They're all having a lovely time foraging and eating that. Bart is patrolling a lot, but I think part of that is that he's trying to make sure he knows where everyone is. He's being the dominant male, so he's patrolling around and just checking that everyone's where they should be.
Bart!
Bart has type 1 diabetes. His blood glucose level is tested daily, followed by an insulin injection. Today's activity means extra monitoring.
We normally give him his insulin at 12 o'clock, but just because of the move and everything, we're giving him a little bit extra and also testing him again, just his blood sugar levels to make sure that he's OK.
Bart usually responds straight away to the primate care team.
Bart! Come here, bud.
But not today.
Bart!
Bart!
He's too busy being a vigilant alpha male, keeping an eye on things in his new territory.
Come on, buddy, you don't want to be too late.
Eventually, he wanders over to see Kate.
Kate managed to get his insulin and she tested him as well, and he was above 7. That's where we want him to be, so we're not worried about him going low at the moment. As I say, we'll keep testing him. We'll do another couple of tests throughout the rest of the day and then make sure we'll probably give him a bit of extra food tonight before we leave him, just to make sure that he doesn't drop overnight.
There's just one more task left to perform, letting the Bachelor boys into their new bedrooms and playroom.
Looks like they're all ready to go in anyway.
Shall we see what you think?
Come on then. Oh, leading the way, Jester. Slightly cautious. They didn't go racing in, but Jester led the way, and then as soon as they got in, there was a bit of displaying. But yeah, all good. Nothing that I'm worried about, and they all seem fairly settled. Good start, and hopefully it'll continue as it started. We shall see.
It's been a perfectly planned operation, with a pretty perfect outcome. Both groups seem to be settling into their new surroundings. But wherever they are, for some, like Paco, things never change. Next time on Monkey Life. Alison and Jeremy undertake one of the park's biggest primate rescues in recent years, from a zoo in mid-Wales.
I believe the local authority have refused them all forms of permissions and licensing, so they cannot keep a lot of the wild animals that they have on site.
Plus, greedy gibbon Kim is stumped by a sock. Today on Monkey Life, Alison and Jeremy undertake one of the park's biggest primate rescues in recent years, from a zoo in mid-Wales.
I believe the local authority have refused them all forms of permissions and licensing, so they cannot keep a lot of the wild animals that they have on site.
And once there, they need to come up with a plan.
It's not easy and makes both Jeremy and I a little bit nervous.
Plus, greedy gibbon Kim is stumped by a sock. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
She's alert, looking around. Quiet though, which is nice. All good.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 24 different species. It's all systems go at the park this morning as Alison and Jeremy prepare for one of their biggest primate rescues in recent years.
Each box, Jeremy, needs an arrow up and a live animal hoo-ha.
A week ago, Alison was contacted by the owners of a small zoo in mid-Wales in need of help.
The owners, I think, purchased the zoo with not a lot of knowledge and understanding of how to look after wild animals, but they've struggled, and it's been quite a number of years, and now I believe the local authority have refused them all forms of permissions and licensing. So not only can they not be open to the public anymore, they also cannot keep a lot of the wild animals that they have on site. So they've got 2 male capuchins, and then there's a pair of patis monkeys. So we're going to try and head out early today so we can get across to Borth and look at the facilities, which are sort of basic, and figure out a plan for getting everybody into their boxes tomorrow morning. Yeah, everything's fingers crossed on all fronts.
Tracy Tweedy and her husband Dean bought the zoo near Aberystwyth in Wales 4 years ago. Unfortunately, the couple's plans didn't work out. They experienced a number of difficulties, resulting in negative publicity, and then, earlier this year, the business was compulsorily wound up.
Our business went into liquidation in February, and the licence, our zoo licence, was in the business name. So we haven't got a choice. We had to move them, and you know, I've met Alison Cronin before, and you know, out of all the places, you know, primate places there are, that's where I'd want them to go. For 100% is the best place for them. And you know, if they can't stay here, then at least I know they're going somewhere where they're going to be really looked after. Hi, Lily. Come on in. It was a real shame that things kind of panned out the way they did. For 4 years, they've been my babies, and you know, now they're going.
Some of the larger animals, including the lions and lynx, have already been rehomed by other zoos, and Alison has agreed to take on 4 of the primates. She's also going to box up and transport a vervet monkey who's going to another rescue centre. The aim is for the 2 capuchins to be integrated in one of the 5 established groups already at the park. Alison has more concerns about housing the 2 patis monkeys.
We're going to try them in with the guenons, like Mitza did, and keep everything crossed. I'm not sure whether or not the guenons are now substantial enough of a family group that they're not going to accept anybody into their territory, whether these patis monkeys would look at young guenons as tasty snacks. So we'll have to wait and see. We're going to unload the patis monkeys into the guenon house, give it a little bit of time, and see if we think the introductions are possible. If they don't fit in, I've already made arrangements and have been guaranteed that I've got a home for them elsewhere with other patis monkeys, potentially, if it doesn't work out. But we're somewhat hopeful that it could.
The van is loaded and everything is set for the 200-mile journey to Borth. If all goes well, Alison and Jeremy will return tomorrow with 4 new primates and work will begin to settle them into life at the park. Of all the outside enclosures at Monkey World, perhaps one of the most spectacular is the tree-filled area golden-cheeked gibbons Kim and Tien call home. It's full of shrubs, offering plenty of seasonal food for the pair to find, and tall trees, allowing them to travel through the canopy high above the ground.
This enclosure is absolutely perfect. I don't think you could get a better one. It's completely natural. It's all open air, so there's no roof. The trees are cut back to a certain distance away from the fence line, so the gibbons can't actually swing and get out. And we've put up ropes here, there and everywhere to connect all the branches so that they can brachiate and do what gibbons naturally do in the wild. Also around the edge of the enclosure, you'll notice a lot lower lying bushes and trees, and this is natural browse, so they can graze at it however they like to.
Like all the primates at the park, Kim and Tien are provided with regular meals throughout the day, all carefully calculated and balanced to ensure variety and, most importantly, a healthy diet.
So that is their lunch and their tea. I'll have this for the morning.
Recently, the team have noticed a problem. Female Kim is putting on a bit of weight.
Even though the two have a lovely pair bond, and they're very rarely seen apart from one another, Kim will definitely be more dominant when it comes to the food. So this pulley feeder is the closest to the house. So what will happen is Kim will come out, she'll come to this one, and Tien will have to travel to the one at the back. And what we were finding was, when we were putting out, say, their nicer things like their root or their fruit, Kim would go and blitz the enclosure, eat up all the food, and Tien didn't have much say in the matter.
To rectify this, help Tien get his fair share, and manage Kim's weight, the gibbon team have come up with a new feeding regime. Breakfast will now be low-calorie, made up of vegetables such as lettuce and fennel. It'll still be hoisted up in the high feeders at opposite sides of the enclosure, but the pair's afternoon feed of more high-calorie food will be served indoors. The pair are used to their morning routine. Tien is let out first, and today he's happy to sit for a while and snack on a piece of banana offered to encourage him into the tunnel. But Kim's out like a rocket, heading straight for the nearest feeder. As with all golden-cheeked gibbon pairs, she's the dominant one. And when it comes to food, she's very focused and a fast eater. She uses one arm to hang from a branch, stabilising the basket with her feet, while reaching in to pick out the food with the other, demonstrating her impressive strength and agility. Tien decides he's ready for his breakfast and heads to the opposite end of the enclosure and the other suspended feeder. He's not as food-focused as his partner. To make up for it, the primate care team give him extra high-calorie snacks during the day. Before long, Kim has emptied her feeder and heads over to see what's left in Tien's. Low-calorie or not, she's still having it. Meanwhile, inside the couple's house, Sarah is busy preparing stage 2 of their new daily feeding routine. The house has been thoroughly cleaned, and she's now putting higher calorie food items in the pair's playroom ready for the afternoon feed. Today, it's juicy orange segments.
Just to make it a little bit more interesting and a little bit slower on Kim's part, I've put them in some socks and some of these lovely ball pit balls that we've been donated from by the public. Slows them down so they don't just gorge and then go and sit and be bored. Because we put them in different areas around the playroom, then Tien can perhaps come to one bucket while Kim will work on another one.
After a morning spent in the trees, Kim and Tien are back for their afternoon meal, and it's Kim who's first into the house. She heads straight for a food bucket, but discovers it's not going to be that easy. Trying to retrieve pieces of orange from a sock proves taxing. Tien examines the problem for a few moments, but then quickly solves it, making the most of the opportunity to enjoy his meal before Kim comes looking for more. He needn't worry, she's still stumped by the sock. It looks as if the new feeding routine is working out just how the primate care team hoped. Slowing Kim down, reducing her calories, and providing Tien with the opportunity to turn the tables on his partner. There are currently 19 different gibbon species, and the park houses 5 of them. As well as the golden-cheeked, the park has an agile gibbon, a Lars, and 3 mullahs, as well as 2 siamangs, which are the largest of all the gibbon species. Sam and Sasak are a devoted male-female pair who've been together since 2011, when Sasak arrived from Dublin Zoo. They've been inseparable ever since.
They are a beautiful couple. They're one of the closest couples we have in our gibbons. They have a very typical relationship between the two of them. Sam spends a lot of time grooming her, particularly around the face area, which is very typical of a male siamang gibbon. They will spend a lot of time grooming their partners and their children and really do focus a lot on the face. They're not the most active of our gibbons, largely because they are the biggest gibbons. They're heavier than the rest of the gibbons. So, you know, they tend to just take things at a little bit more of an easygoing pace, moving around throughout their enclosure, a little bit more relaxed than some of our more agile guys.
Gibbons love to sing, and the early morning song of the park's golden-cheeked gibbons is a beautiful sound. But siamangs are equally impressive. They have large throat sacs that amplify their calls through the tree canopy, announcing to everyone else that this is their territory.
Their song tends to be more of a mirror effect, so both gibbons tend to sing exactly the same notes, and you will see them just belt, 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 belting out all these different notes together. Till they build up to the great call. Now, the great call is the loudest and most impressive part of the song, and actually that's when you see the two of them are singing different notes and a slightly different way as well. Typically, the gibbons, like the golden cheeks, their song could be heard across the rainforest for about 2 kilometres. For the siamangs, that's increased to about 5 kilometres because of that great big throat sac that they have. So it's really an impressive sound.
Siamangs are native to the forests of Indonesia, Malaysia, and Thailand, where their diet consists mainly of fruit and leaves. In captivity, the primate care team provide them with a healthy diet, which they can supplement themselves with seasonal fruiting trees and shrubs. This morning, Sasak is making the most of her breakfast, retrieved from a suspended feeder high up in the pair's tree-filled enclosure. But food doesn't keep this doting couple apart for long. It's a perfect spring morning, and at the marmoset complex, it's a big day for one of the park's newest arrivals. Gizmo has been getting on so well with his new housemate, Soloman, that the team have decided to let them outside together for the first time.
So far, Gizmo's been really good. He actually seems quite chilled out, and now that he's got Soloman, he seems a lot more confident. I think just having that other marmoset next to him is a lot of reassurance for him. So far, Gizmo is sticking to Soloman like a little shadow. He loves him, so hopefully that should mean as soon as Soloman heads out, Gizmo will hopefully follow too.
As far as Steph is aware, this is the first time Gizmo has ever experienced the great outdoors. He has a lot to learn. To start with, there's navigating the long tunnel which leads to the enclosure. Then, there are lots of different branches to conquer once he gets there. He'll also have to adjust to all the different unfamiliar noises in the outdoor setting.
So it might be a bit big and scary for Gizmo. His balance is not the best, he's not bad, but he can be a bit sort of wobbly because he's so unused to walking on natural things like branches. So he'll have to figure out how best to move around out there and have a look at some of the neighbours as well around him.
It's a necessary stage in Gizmo's rehabilitation. When the slide is opened, Soloman heads straight out. But Gizmo isn't so sure. He hangs back, a little uncertain what to do. Soloman is very adept at navigating the tunnels and outside enclosures. He was rescued as a tiny youngster and has had plenty of time to practice. After a few minutes, he heads back into the bedrooms to see where Gizmo is and encourage his hesitant new friend to join him outside. After a few aborted attempts, Gizmo finally takes the plunge, following Soloman through the tunnels and out into the enclosure.
The first couple of steps outside, he's a little bit cautious, sort of hopping out, hopping back into the tunnel, hopping out again. He's just figuring out how best to move, which branches are good for him to step on, which ones he feels secure running around on. But that's not taking him very long, and he's already sort of moving around most of the outside enclosure with comparative ease. And Gizmo just seems delighted by everything. He's making so many happy, chirpy noises. He goes outside, happy noises, comes inside, happy noises. Soloman comes and sits next to him, more happy noises. He just seems to be having a lovely time right now.
Wherever Soloman goes, Gizmo follows, gradually building his confidence and getting used to the alien sounds and surroundings. Soloman is always there for support.
It just kind of shows us how important this natural companionship is for these guys, because as soon as he's had another monkey to hang around with, he's a completely different monkey. He's so much more confident, he's so many more sort of happy chirps and so vocal. It's been really, really lovely to see.
It's been a great start to life outdoors for Gizmo, and when he's had enough, he can return to the familiar surroundings of the bedroom. 200 miles from the park, Alison is on another rescue mission. This time she's travelling to mid-Wales, following a call for help from the owners of Borth Zoo, Derek and Tracy Tweedy, who can no longer operate and need to rehome some of their animals. Accompanied by Jeremy and Alan, she's greeted by Tracy.
Good to see you again.
It's been a while.
It has been. It has been. I can't believe it's been 4 years.
I know, it's gone fast.
This is Alan and Jeremy.
Hi.
Okay.
Right. So
yeah,
I'll
let's
show you.
go see the guys.
Alison is at the zoo to collect 2 patas monkeys and 2 capuchins and take them back to Monkey World, along with a vervet monkey who's being rehomed elsewhere. She's keen to meet the animals and establish their condition, as well as their likes, dislikes and general behaviour. First up are the 2 capuchins.
Hey, little man.
That's Matty.
Louis is a 16-year-old black-capped capuchin who lost his brother a few years ago and was later paired up with Matty, a weeper capuchin who's much older.
Hi. I know. No, you have to be nice to me. You've got to be nice. Look at that. Oh, he's fantastic.
We put them in together and Louis straight away put his arm around Matty and just grinned as if to say, I've got a new brother. And it was just like really heart-melting, you know. And they've got on really well. I mean, they do have the odd fight, obviously, over food or toys. But on the whole, they get on really well. They groom each other. They sleep in the bed together. And it is really lovely. It was just the best thing we ever did for them.
Are you starving right now? Who's boss?
Monkey World doesn't currently have any weeper capuchins, although Alison suspects capuchin Gizmo, rescued in 2004, is at least part weeper.
Good boy. Yeah, he's feisty. I don't know that Gizmo's going to like him.
No.
Jeremy wants to take a look at the capuchin's house and bedrooms so he can come up with a plan to get them into travel crates tomorrow.
Is it possible, looking at that opening from the eye, is it possible to put something to rest the box onto?
Each of the primates will need to be boxed up separately to keep them safe and comfortable. Next, it's time to have a look at the patas monkeys.
Come on, then. Look at what I got.
They're called Mr. Patas and Lady Penelope, but the team at Borth have very few details about them. They arrived in 2011, before the current owners took over, and are extremely shy.
Oh, she's funny because she's always hiding in the tree. And to be honest, there's times I've looked in there and I'm like, where is she? Because I can't actually see her. And it takes some looking, and then she's like, oh, there she is, just peeping.
Yes, spot the patas monkey.
Last up is Jangles, a vervet monkey who lost his mate a while ago.
He's a good boy. Jangles.
Jangles won't be joining the primates at Monkey World. The park doesn't have any vervets or close relatives, so he'll be joining another of his own species at a rescue centre in Berkshire.
I'm really pleased that we actually came down the night before and have a chance to look at the enclosures. You can be sent photographs, but trying to work out actually how you're going to encourage the two patas and the two capuchins to walk into their boxes separately with the least amount of stress. It's not easy and makes both Jeremy and I a little bit nervous.
Alison's hoping tomorrow's rescue will be as calm as the evening view across nearby Borth Beach on the beautiful Welsh coast. Next time on Monkey Life.
Come on, Patas.
The rescue continues in Wales, but getting the primates into their travel crates is far from straightforward.
The thought of Jeremy walking into a room with them is enough just to make them leave immediately.
And a feast of melons for the Bachelor chimps. Today on Monkey Life. Alison's in mid-Wales to collect a number of primates from a zoo whose licence to keep wild animals has been revoked.
It'll either go probably really easy or really difficult, so just have to wait and see.
Come on, Patas.
But it's the presence of Jeremy that makes all the difference.
The thought of Jeremy walking into a room with them is enough just to make them leave immediately.
And a feast of melons for the Bachelor chimps. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
I'm shocked. This animal is living in fear of its life at all times.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 24 different species. "200 miles from Dorset, on the west coast of mid-Wales, Alison and Jeremy are at Borth Zoo on a rescue mission. They're here to collect 5 primates needing to be rehomed. 2 patas monkeys and 2 capuchin monkeys are destined for Monkey World, while a vervet monkey is to be rehomed at a rescue centre in Berkshire. It's early morning, and Jeremy and Alan are unloading the travel boxes.
It's going to be a busy day today. We've got to try and get the 5 monkeys into the boxes. So we're just getting all of the kit unloaded and set up, all ready to go. We'll try and do the patas first of all, because I think they're going to be most tricky. And we'll see how we go from there. It's really sort of hard to predict. It'll either go probably really easy or really difficult. So just have to wait and see, but the animals are inside their houses and sort of ready to go.
A number of serious issues have forced the owners of Borth Zoo, Tracy and Dean Tweedy, to find homes for their larger animals and primates.
You just go just under that beam, yeah.
Alison wants to start with the patas monkeys. They're the largest and potentially most unpredictable to persuade into the crates. The pair, a male and female, have been secured in their bedroom while the team manoeuvre the first of the travel boxes for the male, named Mr. Pattus.
If we end up with both of them in the tunnel, and him in the box and her in the tunnel, then we put the other door in and contain her in the tunnel while we swap the boxes.
Okay, cool.
That sounded quite good, didn't it?
It does. It is a plan.
It sounded like I knew what I was talking about, Reggie.
Jeremy has enlisted the help of Borth head keeper Charlotte, who the Pattus pair know and trust.
Come on, Jingles. Come on, buddy. Hello, darling.
She's going to use fruit to try to entice them into their boxes.
Butter, come on, Butter.
A friendly face, some soothing words, and Mr. Pattus responds.
She's in.
Before long, he's secured in his crate.
Oh, safe? Excellent. Nice job, thank you.
It's a great start to the day.
Good boy.
Yeah, that was really calm. Quite happy with that.
With Mr. Pattus safely in his box, it's time to try and entice his mate, Lady Penelope, into hers.
Hopefully she'll walk in as well as he did, so this would be fantastic. It's certainly a very good start to the day that we've got him in calmly and nicely, and he's quite chilled out in the box, so fingers crossed.
Come on, Butter.
Once again, Charlotte tries to woo her in.
Come on, darling. Come on, sweetie.
But having seen her mate boxed up, she's a little more wary. Jeremy thinks a bit of coercion might help and pops his head around the bedroom door. It's all it takes. The unfamiliar face behind her prompts Lady Penelope forward and into her travel crate.
Come on, darling. Good girl. Good girl. Start now.
Tails in. Yeah, we're done. Yeah, all done. Could use a padlock.
Hey, good girl.
The thought of Jeremy walking into a room with them is enough just to make them leave immediately, so yeah. But everything nice and calm, which is the main thing. Want to make it as least stressful for them as possible, so. Right, 2 down, 3 to go.
So far, so good. Things couldn't have gone any better, and, most importantly, with very little stress. While the team head off to tackle the 2 capuchins and the vervet monkey, back at the park in Dorset, it's a busy morning too. The small monkeys team and the maintenance crew are prepping for the new arrivals. They're adapting a number of bedrooms, at the Gwenon house for the Pattus, and at the domestic marmoset house for the capuchins, who will be housed there temporarily. It's going to be a long day for all involved. It's been a few weeks since the biggest ape house move in the park's history, when the Bachelors swapped homes with Bart's group. The Bachelor boys have now settled down and adapted to their new surroundings, both inside the house and outdoors in their new enclosure. Though, for some, the large water feature took a bit of getting used to.
The move actually went really smoothly, which was good. They were a bit concerned by the pond. Either they hadn't seen a pond for a long time, or they saw the frogs in it, or possibly saw the reflections. Jess especially would spend up to half an hour sitting up here, alarm calling at the pond. After a while, the rest of the boys just ignored him and left him to it. You know, Jess he's a nice boy, he's not necessarily the sharpest tool in the box.
Today, the group are in for a juicy, delicious treat. Colin is putting whole melons all around the enclosure, with more than enough for everyone.
We want to make sure that everybody gets one. So obviously the dominants will go steaming in first, and they'll grab as many melons as they can. So the more we can spread it out, the more the sort of lower ranking guys can go and get some stuff. It also stops them, if you put them all in the same place, they will fight over it immediately. If we throw it in whole, someone that's lower ranking, they can pick it up and they can run with it, and they've got a whole melon. Now, the bigger guys might get 2, they might get 3, but not necessarily, because once someone's got one, they're gone with it. So it's good to vary it. It's useful to chop it up, but it's also quite important to give them whole food now and again just because it's more exciting and to vary the way that they get the food.
Colin does a quick clean out of the pond, while the boys wait expectantly in the tunnel to be let out. Once everything is ready, Paco leads the group into their enclosure. But it's another high ranker, Mojo, who's first to survey the scene. Before he can take it all in, wily Seamus, who's further down the rankings, grabs a melon and, after a quick look around for any higher-ups, snaffles a second. The low rankers are striking lucky this morning. With so many melons to find, Paquito has also bagged a couple, all the while keeping a watchful eye out before heading high to tuck in. The high rankers are on the move. Buxom eats his melon on the go, scouting for more. While Paco takes his to a favoured spot, high on the climbing frame. The group's former alpha male, Butch, is also enjoying breakfast. He's 38 and one of the older chimpanzees at the park. He may not be in charge anymore, but he's still highly respected by the others. Jester still has an issue with the pond. His alarm calling attracts Mojo, who offers the agitated chimp a reassuring hand to calm him down. The group are certainly a lot more relaxed since the house swap. The tension and minor squabbles have all but vanished, and they seem a lot calmer with each other. But chimps are volatile, and although it's all peace and friendship at the moment, there's still the chance of occasional squabbles ahead. Back at Borth Zoo on the west coast of mid-Wales, Alison and Jeremy are making good progress persuading the 5 primates into their individual travel crates. So far, the 2 patas monkeys are safe and secure, ready for the long trip back to Dorset. The team now need to entice Jangles, a vervet monkey who's going to be rehomed at a rescue centre in Berkshire, into his travel box. He's already been isolated in an outside tunnel, and curiosity, plus a few treats, soon gets the job done.
Got him. Yeah, he's eating some banana already. He's grumbling, but he's eating banana, so it can't be too bad.
3 down, just 2 to go.
Cappies.
Yep, okay, we good? We ready to rock?
I'll go grab a box.
The final pair are the 2 capuchin monkeys, Matty and Louis. They've been shut in their bedroom, while Jeremy and Alan secure the travel box to the outside tunnel.
We're good. Really happy with that. No problem.
At first, they're not keen on leaving the bedroom, but once again, Jeremy intervenes.
There you go, boys. Good boy.
Matty doesn't hang around to see what he wants, and seconds later is in the crate. In less than an hour, the team have secured 4 of the 5 monkeys. Now there's just 1 left, Matty's mate Louis. After a bit of hesitation, he accepts the inevitable and makes his way into the crate.
Hello, darling.
Yay, rock and roll team. Good job.
It's been a textbook operation by the team, securing all 5 primates.
There you go. Really good. So, Maddie, the feisty weeper, is shouting down the houses and is going to let everybody know. Louis, who's the black cap, is just a very quiet, gentle soul and is sitting there quietly taking grapes and eating them. So hopefully Maddie will calm down in a minute, but he's throwing a temper tantrum. Excellent. Excellent job, see? So that's it, 5 down and pretty good time. What, just over an hour, I think, so. Good effort. Now we just need to get down the road.
With the monkeys safe in their boxes, the next job is to make sure they've settled down before loading them into the van.
Good boy, that's a nice monkey. Excellent job.
It's a long journey back to Dorset, and Alison wants to keep their stress levels to an absolute minimum. Everyone is making sure the primates are fed and watered before they leave. For owners Tracy and Dean, and many of the staff who work at Borth, it's sad to see the monkeys leave.
Good boy, Matty. Good boy. All right.
Thank you.
Oh, plenty of messages along the way.
Excellent.
And
Thank
when
you.
we're there and unloaded. All right?
Thank you.
You stay strong. Look after yourselves.
Thank
Ladies, good to see you. Nice to meet you all. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Stay strong, you guys. All right.
There's a 200-mile journey ahead for the primate passengers. But their arrival is eagerly anticipated in Dorset, where their new carers are waiting. The sunshine brings an opportunity for the primate care teams to try a different kind of enrichment to enhance the lives of their charges. At the spider monkey enclosure, the 3 housemates are waiting patiently in the outside tunnels, while keeper Rachel puts a plan in place to keep the trio cool and at the same time get them moving and active.
Today we've got some hosing enrichment. One of Jano and the orangutan team's inventions. So we have little pockets in them, and the hose is folded in on itself with these little flaps that come through here, like a bottom of the pocket. So you can put food in each of these pockets, and they will have to climb to get to it, spin it round to work out which pocket they're using, and it just encourages a bit of dexterity and climbing behaviour.
This morning's prize is a cool, thirst-quenching breakfast of frozen satsumas. As well as the hose, Rachel is using some deflated basketballs to hide the fruit. Keeping the unusual feeders steady to free up the food will be a test of the spider monkey's patience and agility.
Hey guys!
The small troop are let out, with Hickory leading the way, followed by Pumpkin, who makes a beeline for the basketballs. Flint brings up the rear, stretching out his long arms and using his tail to hold on as he inspects the new feeders. The old man of the group, Hickory, isn't as food-orientated and bides his time. It's female Pumpkin who's in charge of the small troop. She absolutely loves her food and cracks the challenge with ease. She uses her prehensile tail as a 5th limb for balance as she expertly examines both feeding options. Flint is trying an altogether different technique, perching on a tree stump to reach out and grab one of the hose feeders. He hasn't managed to retrieve the fruit yet, but he's not giving up. Spider monkeys are perfectly adapted for climbing, with disproportionately long legs and arms. They can also grip on tightly with their hands and feet. In the wild, they forage high up in the canopies of the tropical forests of Central and South America. Their amazing prehensile tails are highly effective anchors at height.
It's got a nice fleshy pad on the underside which protects it from thorns in the forest on branches. So in this enclosure we've got trees, we've got hosing, we've got all sorts of things for them to clamber around on, and the idea is to put enrichment up in places that they have to climb to get to it.
Pumpkin's given a perfect demonstration of how well-equipped spider monkeys are for their environment. But Rachel is keen to ensure that Hickory and Flint don't miss out.
Flint! Come here. Good boy. Well done, everybody.
Since their arrival almost 9 years ago, the team have been training the 3 spider monkeys in various behaviours so they can regularly check their health and welfare. One element of this is cooperative feeding.
We have these little feeding sessions where we get them all to sit together like this and we can hand out the food cooperatively. It just means that we know that Hickory is getting his fair share of food in between the main feeds. You know, they're quite happy to come and sit and take food from us and, you know, let us do medical inspections and all the rest of it. So, yeah, they've come along a long way since they first arrived. Well done, Flynn. Good boys. Oh, yes, that's very good. Happy noises.
At the Gwenon house, the primate care staff are all prepared for the newcomers. Alison has just phoned to say she'll be arriving shortly with the 2 capuchins and 2 patas monkeys she's collected from Borth Zoo in mid-Wales. The team are hoping the patas monkeys will be able to live in harmony with the park's family of 4 red-bellied Gwenons. But it's not a done deal.
With the Gwenons, they are quite a tight family unit, so there's probably going to be at least a bit of posturing between the 2 groups, and we'll have to see if it sort of settles down, if it simmers down. You know, we're going to sort of try it out. If we can make it work, it'll be a really nice sort of mixed species exhibit. But yeah, we're just going to have to see what they make of each other.
After a 5-hour, 200-mile journey, including dropping off the vervet monkey, Alison has arrived and is preparing to unload the park's latest additions.
All good. All good. How you doing, little man? Are you still angry?
It's been a long, hot couple of days, and the team want to get the 4 primates into their bedrooms and settled as quickly as possible. The 2 patas are first.
Mr. Patas is lovely.
He is?
He's just sweet and gentle and charming.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Some bedrooms in the Gwenon house have been specially adapted for the pair. The 2 species will be able to see and hear each other, but without any close contact. It's nothing new for the Gwenons. They previously lived with Mitza, a female patas monkey, and George, an ageing ring-tailed lemur, before, sadly, both passed away. It doesn't take long to get the new arrivals out of their travel boxes.
Look really good. Both of them nervous, which is fair. Not only have they come out of the boxes to see us who put them in there in the first place, but then they've got neighbors now. So he's very interested and potentially protective and is ready to go steaming through to the Gwenons. So there you go, that's him. If they're going to stay here, they have to get on with the Gwenons, but I'm not sure if they're going to, so that we'll have to wait and see.
The pair will be given time before any decision is made. Next, the 2 new capuchins, Matty and Louis, are loaded up, ready to be taken to their temporary home at the Marmoset domestic house.
Matty is a weeper, so we don't have any weepers, capuchins here at the park at the moment. And Louis is a black cap, which we do have. The way that they communicate is slightly differently, so that will affect who we decide to put them in with. They're both a little bit on the skinny side as well, so it'd be nice to build them up a little bit. Matty is very long, so I think once we get a bit of weight on him, he's going to be a big boy. So yeah, we're going to have to think very carefully about where we try to put them. But yeah, really excited to get going.
The pair go straight into their new home without any issues or stress. But it'll be a while before they can meet any of the park's other capuchins.
Looking good. They need to be in here to quarantine effectively. We need to make sure that they aren't carrying parasites, to get health checks done on them because they are quite skinny. We know that Louis has some eating issues and both boys need vasectomies before they can go join their groups.
The hard work is just beginning, and there's a long road ahead for the park's 4 new primates. But, hopefully, they all have a wonderful future ahead of them. Next time on Monkey Life. Concern grows at the park as the effects of the global pandemic continue to bite, meaning everyone has to muck in, as staff are forced to isolate.
There's this overwhelming cloud over me right now. I'm worried that we're going to have to close again.
And the Gwenon girls show off their amazing agility. Today on Monkey Life, concern grows at the park as the effects of the global pandemic continue to bite, meaning everyone has to muck in and out, as staff are forced to isolate.
There's this overwhelming cloud over me right now. I'm worried that we're going to have to close again.
Vet Dave is called in to examine stump-tailed macaque Sylvie, who's off her food and lost a significant amount of weight.
There's no obvious answers at this stage, so I think the best thing is just to wait for the blood results and then we take it from there.
And the Gwenon girls show off their amazing agility. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
You just never know how it's going to work.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 24 different species. The global COVID pandemic has resulted in lockdowns and restrictions affecting all walks of life. But finally, there's light at the end of the tunnel. The park has visitors again, bringing in much needed revenue after a difficult 18 months. However, despite the restrictions being lifted, Monkey World is still experiencing problems, and Alison is concerned.
I have 18 people off with either actually positive COVID tests or who have been in contact with somebody who's tested positive. So 13 of them are primate care staff, and that's all of our younger staff who aren't fully vaccinated yet. So there's this overwhelming cloud over me right now, and I feel, as you can see, I'm a little bit high-strung. I'm worried that we're going to have to close again.
But, park gates open or shut, the care and welfare of the park's primates can't stop for COVID. Everyone is mucking in to help the rescue centre get through the crisis.
We'll be okay, we'll survive. But it's just really tough because we're trying to strike a balance between our keepers and their health and welfare as essential carers for all of our monkeys and apes. So I'm cleaning out Bachelor woolly monkeys.
No one is sure how susceptible non-human primates are to catching COVID. But there have been many confirmed cases in captive apes reported. It means when any of the great apes at the park fall ill, concern is heightened.
Jimmy had a cough, Gypsy had a cough. We did COVID tests on them, flow tests. They were negative, so quite pleased about that. So I've actually been talking to NHS, and if they have any spare vaccines at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what time of day or night, I'll come and get them before anything goes down the drain. I would love to be able to vaccinate our orangutans first, because they suffer from bronchial issues more. And then after that, the chimpanzees.
And there are worries too about the park's sister sanctuary, Dao Tien, in Vietnam. The country has been hit hard by the virus. And worries about the staff there and the primates they care for are giving Alison sleepless nights.
Right now, we're having real problems out in Vietnam as well. So the infection is going crazy there. Very few people are vaccinated, but our team is really good. I suppose my greatest worry for our team in Vietnam is our human staff. They're like family to me. I've known all of them forever, and they are vulnerable. They're out in the middle of nowhere, and no vaccine and no intensive health care where they're based. So that's a pretty serious concern.
It means a lot of the centre's vital work with the gibbons, duklangers and lorises has had to be put on hold.
We'd like to do some more releases in Vietnam, but nothing can happen until the COVID situation settles down, because people just aren't allowed to move. So all animal work, at the moment, we're trying to keep the island, in that sense, it's good as a quarantine. So hopefully the staff and the animals, but our team goes back across to Nam Dao Tien to be with their families every night. So it's possible that they could contract the virus, but the island's sort of a good quarantine center. We just have to try and keep it safe.
At home in Dorset, Alison is thankful for the many donations that have arrived at the park and been such practical help. And she's conscious the welfare of the primates in the team's care is reliant on everyone keeping going.
We're being pushed to the limit right now, but we just have to stay focused and try and stay positive for the animals, really.
One of the most spectacular enclosures at Monkey World is Malagasy, home to the park's 10 lemurs. In normal times, visitors can stroll along the pathways and see them close up. But since the pandemic, it's remained out of bounds to protect the animals, and with less footfall, nature is taking over, bringing additional benefits.
There was already plenty of forage, but with everything now overgrowing so much, the amount of plants that they can forage from, all of the extra scents and smells of all the plants that would normally be trimmed back, it's just made for a really nice wild setting.
And that's not all.
These guys are actually needing less food from us. And it's really great because it's really replicating their natural diet and their natural lifestyle.
This morning, Friedrich is tucking into some prickly brambles. Lemurs are opportunistic feeders. In the wild, their padded hands and feet mean they can even tackle prickly cactus. In Malagasy, juicy blackberries will soon be fruiting to add to their menu.
A lot of the forage stuff is nice and low calorie, and it's much, much healthier for them than some of the other items that we could select for them. So it's basically provided them with a lot more exercise, a lot more foraging material, and a lot more interest.
The lemurs haven't missed visitors.
There's a little bit less to look at with the public being gone. They're much more involved with their own group and their own politics and their own society.
The group's pecking order is changing, with young twins Friedrich and Kurt spending more time with dominant female and group leader Fennel. They're intent on moving up the hierarchy, ousting former lead males Indiana and Sirius. With staff shortages due to the pandemic, the team are working at full stretch to cover the animals' day-to-day needs. It means they haven't been able to push ahead with their staged plan to fully reintroduce Kaya to the group. She was separated while recuperating from surgery after being seriously attacked by a member of her troop.
So we were building up to Kaya and her sort of gang with Kurt and Friedrich, the young twins, going in with Indiana and Sirius, the older twins, because that's sort of the problem, sort of two sides. But unfortunately, pandemic has hit and the intros have been put on hold.
Some of the lemurs are still occasionally separated off, but Kaya is now spending whole days out with the group. It's real progress, but has had some consequences for the care team.
She is our lemur with an ASBO. She's not to be trusted. But coming back up here with no public here, she's really bonded with people that she wasn't so keen on, but also has given her quite an attitude problem with us. She's now the sort of big girl around town because she's out all day with everybody.
But with nature taking over and so much to keep them occupied, even the occasional squabble can't detract from this relaxed period at Malagasy. The team are extremely concerned about the park's youngest stump-tailed macaque, Sylvie, who's been losing weight over the past few months. Macaques are notorious for their love of food, and Sylvie's normally the greediest of the bunch. She's known for storing huge amounts of food in her cheek pouches to eat as and when she wants. Small monkey team member Karen and her colleagues have been trying to tempt her with extra treats.
Just a little bit, like an extra banana a day to start with. And at the next weigh-in, she'd lost a considerable amount again. So we realised there may be a bit of a problem going on. So then we gave her a really high calorie target to try and get some more weight on her.
But the situation has gone from bad to worse.
But in the last week or so, she started to really go off her food, and the really nice tasty things we're giving as extras, she's pouching them. And then if we watch her, she'll actually walk away and take them out of her mouth and then drop them, which is really unusual for Sylvie.
Today, local vet Dave Harding is going to take a look.
And we've just given her a pre-med now, and that's to hopefully just calm her down a little bit, chill her out, make her go a little bit dopey. So then when we want to give her the anaesthetic, she won't remember any of this part of it, and it'll just be nice and relaxing for her.
Once she's down, Sylvie is transported to the park's hospital, where vet Dave is waiting.
I think, we have a weight from 3 years ago, and she was 13 kilograms, and she's now weighing in at 8.7. So there's normally some significant underlying reason for that sort of weight loss. It's just knowing what it is.
Dave gives her a thorough inspection, taking scans, X-rays, and blood samples.
There's no obvious answers at this stage, so I think the best thing is just to wait for the blood results, and then we take it from there.
But there is one other thing Dave wants to check.
She's got a few loose teeth, but I'm not convinced that's going to be enough to cause the degree of weight loss that we're seeing.
Dave decides on a full examination of Sylvie's mouth while she's under the anaesthetic, just in case. And there's a surprise.
That's just impacted straw. I thought it was a loose tooth. One of the teeth was coated with that, which I thought was a rotten tooth at the back, but it's just actually a big load of impacted straw. It smells quite bad, but I'm not sure it's significant. What she needs is a floss.
The macaque's weight loss must have some underlying reason.
The blood pointed in a direction, so if there's a liver or a kidney issue or something like that, then there may be more that we want to do to investigate that, but at this stage, I can't say anything more.
Sylvie is brought round and taken back to her bedroom to recover, still slightly groggy from the anaesthetic.
Very relieved that we haven't lost her today. When an animal gets that sick that quickly and you take them to the hospital, there's always the big fear that they're not going to come back out of the hospital again.
But for now, all that remains is to make sure Sylvie's comfortable and keep a close eye on her until she's fully recovered from the effects of the anaesthetic. Earlier in the week, Alison and the team travelled to Wales to pick up 2 patas monkeys and 2 capuchins from Borth Zoo, which has been forced to rehome some of its animals. This morning, Steph and Donna from the primate care team, along with vet nurse Saffron, are checking up on the 2 male capuchins, Matty and Louis.
Louis nuts a wax worm, so he came over and had a lot of those from me.
It's their first chance to have a really good look at the pair, study their eating habits, and look for any behavioural issues. For vet nurse Saffron, it's an opportunity for a general health check.
Unfortunately with these guys, they have come with a little bit of information, but not too much. So we have got an idea of issues that they might have. So it is very much just something that we have to piece together over time, both by looking at them as they're kind of moving around in their enclosures and getting used to them and their behaviours and what's normal, and also kind of looking at, okay, when do we need to intervene? Is there a stage where we need to go, okay, actually someone does look like they might have a little bit of a problem, we need to investigate.
It's important Donna and her team get to know the pair and earn their trust. Once they're settled in and have passed a health inspection, Matty and Louis will join one of the 5 established groups at the park.
just bought some really nice goodies for them, just to kind of encourage them over so I can get to know them a little bit. It sounds like Matty is also very dominant over food, so it'd be nice to get a bit of cooperative feeding going so that actually we can have them both together feeding from us over at the same time.
Donna's brought a variety of healthy food to establish what they like best. Both capuchins are skinny, so it's important to get their diet right and help them put on weight.
Let's try the banana first, it's nice and easy.
First on the menu, sliced banana.
Good boy. It's nice, isn't it?
Matty and Louis seem to love it.
I know, it's nice, isn't it? Nice treat. As I understand it, when these guys were at Bordeaux, fruit wasn't actually part of their diet, so I imagine this is really exciting for them. But it's really nice to see them actually together and being able to feed them. Because Matty's got a history of being very dominant of the food, I really thought he'd just chase Louis off. But it was really nice to see that they can cooperatively feed together. Matty was still dominant, and he was leaning over occasionally when I was feeding Louis, but he also allowed me to feed him, which was really great, and that's something that we can build up over time. That's quite nice, isn't it? Do you want something else? We'll try one more thing. What do you want? Let's try the oat ball. Don't know what you make of this. Does that look yummy? Oh, tasty.
The oat balls are a high-calorie food, which should help them put on weight, and they seem to like them.
They're so excited. I've not actually heard Matty vocalise since he's been here, but he's making lots of happy noises.
Information from their previous home suggests Louis has a history of regurgitating his food. Saffron is concerned the pair may have parasites. Donna is able to get a fresh sample of faeces for Saffron to test.
Maybe that's why he's a bit underweight as well, if he's just not keeping anything down.
Until the pair are given a clean bill of health, they won't be allowed outside or to meet others. But Steph has an idea.
Hi Alison, I'm just checking to see what you feel about giving Louis and Matty just a little bit of tunnel, so just a loop between the two bedrooms for a little bit of fresh air.
Yeah, I'm totally good with that. I'd like to keep them out of the enclosure until we're relatively sure that they're clear of any parasites or anything like that.
With the go-ahead from Alison, Steph opens the outside tunnel system which connects the bedrooms. It's an invitation to lots of new noises and smells.
What about you, Louis?
Louis bravely sticks his head out, but that's enough for now. It's Matty who plucks up the courage to test the tunnels.
Oh, brave boy.
He's up, along, down, and back in again.
Hello, good boy. Matty, yeah, he's just sort of checking everything out, having a look at the marmosets, the people, what's around, and just popping it in and out, which is really nice to see, that he's not just coming out and sitting out, but actually he's happy to move around all of the space.
It's been a good first morning as Matty gains confidence and sets off again. Hopefully it won't be too long before the pair can join a capuchin group and enjoy lots of outside space and the chance to make new friends. At the Gwenon house, the two patus monkeys who arrived with the Borth capuchins are settling in too, albeit at a slower pace. They're shy and a little nervous and have yet to fully meet their Gwenon neighbours.
We are now starting to bring them a bit closer and do some introductions through the mesh and through some perspex just to make sure it's all safe. We're not quite sure how they feel about it at the moment.
New arrivals, Mr. Patus and his mate Lady Penelope, probably haven't come across Gwenons before. The Gwenon family, however, previously lived with Patus monkey Mitza and elderly Lima George, who mostly ignored them in favour of each other's company. For the park's Gwenons, Mr. Patus and Lady Penelope are a different proposition altogether.
The Patus monkeys are big monkeys, and these guys are very small. They can be a bit nervous around new animals coming in, and although they've lived with a Patus monkey before, these are very different ballgame. These two have much more sort of activity about them, and they can jump higher and much more agile, and you know, they're a lot bigger.
Both species can be found in West Africa, but in different habitats.
The guenons generally spend a lot of time high up in the branches, up in the trees, and patus are a very terrestrial primate. They spend a lot of time on the ground. So I'm hoping that they'll be able to share the space and coexist nicely and happily.
But that remains to be seen. Today, the guenon family are outside enjoying their large tree-filled enclosure. They're a tight-knit bunch. Mum Nia and Dad Benny were rescued after being stolen from the wild and smuggled via the Lebanon. They were nervous and jumpy when they arrived at the park, but with care and dedication from the team, they settled in and went on to have their daughters Biff, now 2.5, and Nala, now 1. They're thought to be the only red-bellied guenons legally kept in captivity. Today, Nick has prepared them a challenging but tasty snack.
They're pine cones, and they've got some, it's almost like a paste with sort of dried fruits and sort of date paste.
The guenons will need to use their nimble fingers to extract the prize.
Go, guenons!
Biff is quick off the mark and tucks in, followed by Mum and Dad.
They're a proper family group now, and they're really showing real guenon behaviours. Guenon groups are ruled by the ladies, and poor old Benny's got 3 of them to deal with, and they really rule the roost. So the male, you know, plays their role if they need to defend their territory or anything like that. But as so far as family life's concerned, they're very much at the bottom of the pecking order, even though they're the biggest one.
But today, Benny isn't prepared to give in as daughter Biff tries to muscle in on his pine cone. Once they've all had their fill of the cones, little Nala tries foraging and finds a snail. Guenons are opportunistic feeders, and although only a year old, she's already experimenting. Big sis Biff, balancing beautifully on bendy branches, opts for some browse. An after-snack sisterly playtime provides Dad with some well-deserved peace. The sisters burn off their energy, diving from the top of a tree, grabbing branches on the way down, before tearing back up to do it again, honing their skills and coordination and testing their agility. Back on the ground, Biff spots a toad. The sisters are curious but wary. It's a sensible approach. Caution in the wild means survival, and at the park, playing together is much more fun. Next time on Monkey Life. There's a surprise revelation during a health check on a recent arrival.
Is he a boy?
It's a girl.
There's no testis. I think it's a girl.
And is this camera chimp-proof? Let's find out.